Bonjour! Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to be showing you how I get ready for a day in the French Riviera. In my travel skincare, I brought a bunch of random samples that I have collected over time from Sephora and stuff. So on my face today, I'll be using this Ole Henriksen Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. My skin gets super dry when I travel, so yesterday on the flight I slathered it in like 3 different kinds of moisturizer. I don't normally recommend this, especially if you have sensitive skin like mine, but it just felt so dry I could tell it could handle it. I've never used this moisturizer before. It doesn't have a smell, and it is very sheer. It feels nice. My face is really puffy from traveling, so I'll give it a little massage to help drain this area. Okay, and after that, my trusty sunscreen. This one is great because it doesn't leave too much of a white cast, which you can get with a lot of Korean sunscreens, and it comes in a very small bottle, which is good for traveling. And it's very fluid, so it absorbs quickly. It's kind of cold here, so I don't know if we're going to be out in the sun a lot, but I try to wear sunscreen every day just in case. So I packed all my makeup in this Glossier pouch. It's really hard not to overpack these though, because once you put even just one too many products in, this zipper will split immediately, so be careful. But I like it because it kind of forces me to pare things down. I mean, I still brought a lot, but it kind of makes me edit it a little bit more carefully, and there's like some padding, so it's good for your suitcase or your carry-on. Okay, let's see. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna give my lips a little scrub with this Sephora lip scrub, because I will probably want to wear a darker lipstick later in the day, and I don't want it to be clinging to any like dead skin on my lips. We are in the French Riviera for vacation, but also to celebrate my father-in-law's 60th birthday, so that'll be exciting. And no, he's not French, he's German. They just like it here. The nice thing about that scrub is that it's basically just sugar and some moisturizing stuff. So it'll basically just melt into your lips, you don't have to remove it. On top of that, I'm going to apply a little bit of this Glossier Balm.com in Rose, my favorite scent. I always want to say flavor, but you're not really supposed to eat it. A little bit of concealer, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof in 2W, light, medium, warm. So many adjectives. I know my skin tone is hard to describe, so. And it fluctuates so much. Like in this light, I look super pale, but in other lights, I can look very tan. It's very unclear. My skin has been so much better ever since I edited down my skincare routine and switched to a different birth control, so I don't have too many raised bumps, knock on wood. I still like to conceal them a little bit because I have a bit of post-inflammatory pigmentation from when they were, raised blemishes. So just stab on a little bit with my fingers. I try not to bring too many tools when I'm traveling, and if I have a product that needs a tool, I try to bring a version that includes the tool in the packaging so I don't have to, deal with brushes that are like open to the air rolling around in my suitcase, which might get dirty as time goes on, stuff like that. I feel like it's extra important to be hygienic when you're traveling because I, anyway, have a very weak immune system. I'm literally that lady who's on the plane with my hand sanitizer, wiping down the entire tray table, my partner's tray table, the armrests, basically anything that I can wipe hand sanitizer on within reach on the plane, I'm doing it. Because the turnover time in between flights, even for international ones, is so fast, and I feel like they're not able to disinfect everything, but people on the plane are sick and the air is like circulating within that tiny cabin space. It's just gross. I like this concealer because it doesn't oxidize too much. Some concealers, even the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer that I used to use all the time, it would turn like maybe a shade and a half, a shade darker after a little bit of time. And I know you can correct for that, but it feels weird to, you know, try to anticipate that when you're doing your makeup. And I know I'm an outlier on this, but I never put concealer under my eyes. I mean, maybe on accident I do, but I don't do that swipe here. I feel like it cakes immediately no matter what formula I try. And your skin is so thin here that if you put stuff on it, it just looks kind of powdery and fake. I don't know. Maybe I don't have dark circles that are dark enough yet. Knock on wood. Okay, so it's basically like my everyday makeup but punched up a little bit. So on top of that concealer, I'm going to put this Amore Pacific cushion. I didn't bring my Laneige cushion that I love because it's kind of bulky and the shade is a little bit too light, and I didn't know if I would be getting tan here. So this one I got at Sephora for like 15 bucks in their mini product section. It's a nice shade. The finish is a bit drier than most cushions, and I wonder if that's because it's kind of designed for like an American market. It also has kind of a strong smell if you're not into that. But I was pleasantly surprised that the shade matches me pretty well, especially because they only had 2 shade options in that checkout line. I think this cushion line has maybe 4 or 5 shades, which is actually kind of a lot. Most Korean cushions come in extremely light and white as a ghost, so, you know, to have this like even moderately tan one, I'm not even that tan for an Asian woman, and I can't find a cushion that matches my skin a lot of the time, which is pretty messed up. Okay, that's done. Let's see. And then to finish off the skin, I'm just going to put a very light dusting of this blush from the same. It's a cute little powder blush in a compact, and it has this puff, which I really like. I don't know if the puff is more effective than a sponge or anything else, but I like how I feel when I use it. It's like, you know, like play makeup. So just dab a little bit. And connect it across the bridge of the nose, just a little bit. Boop, boop. I kind of struggled with which palette to bring. I have kind of a lot of eyeshadow palettes now, but I ended up bringing this, one of my oldest ones, the very first eyeshadow palette I bought actually, from Tarte. It's kind of cheesy looking with, you know, as far as packaging goes, but I like it because the shades complement my skin really well, and there's this really nice highlighter built into it. So I'm just going to take this like very basic base shade, and put a little bit there. I still don't really use brushes to apply eyeshadow. I know that's kind of weird, but it just feels like a lot of work for not a lot of difference. Maybe I just don't know how to use it well. Then I'm going to use Strive, this like pinky shimmery shade, all over. We're kind of concentrating on the inner corners, like that. I think it's nice, it'll catch the light just a little bit, but it's not like full on glittery, you know. And then I'm going to use this darkest shade, Work, and just blend that into the outer corner. These shadows are pretty subdued. I did bring a single shadow of like a really dark brown in case we go out and I want to do like a smoky eye. that's pretty much it for eyeshadow. Oh yeah, highlighter. So I'm going to use my third finger, just take a little bit, and press it in. I also put like a tiny bit of the leftover right here. I don't have the right eye shape to do that really concentrated like dip of highlight here. It just ends up looking really weird on me, but I do like to have a little bit of shimmer so that like if I turn my face a certain way under the light, it'll catch and look good. And I'm not going to put any shadow on my lower lash line today because I'm trying to go for like a clean, uncluttered look. For my brows, I'm using my trusty Etude House Drawing Eyebrow that you guys have seen me use a million times. This pen never runs out. I think I got this pen at this time last year, and it still has a lot going. Oh, did I break this? What happened? It still has a ton of product left in it, and I use it, you know, a lot. I think it's because the pencil is so hard and kind of waxy, although not as hard as some other like Asian brow products, that you just don't use up a ton of the pigment when you use it. So I'm basically just gonna lightly fill in like the tops, not being too dramatic or anything. Just kind of giving some shape and elongating it a little bit. Like that. Okay. Same thing on the other side. I recently went back to threading my brows at this place in Palo Alto, and I feel like when you get your brows threaded, it lasts longer, but somehow the ladies I go to always do my brows just a little bit too thin. Okay, just blend out the front part. Maybe brush the hairs a little bit with this spoolie. And then I'm just going to go in over it with Boy Brow in black, just to give it a bit more, you know, like volume. I'm going to be really sad if we go back to those pencil thin brows from the 90s. Now that 90s fashion is like fully back in swing and we're even moving toward early 2000s fashion, I'm kind of nervous. I like my brows bushy now. Oh, these aren't even bushy by those standards, really. Okay, next I'm going to tightline my eyes with this Sephora waterproof pencil. I've been using this Lancome one that I really like, but it's a wood pencil that you have to sharpen like every other day, and I did not want to bring my sharpener. So this one is like very dependable, and it's auto twist up, most importantly. So I'm just going to lift my eyelid a little bit to expose the waterline. And try not to get any on my contacts. I normally concentrate it on the back half because it's hard to get this thick of a pencil into the front half without smudging it. And the liquid eyeliner will take care of that end anyway. I do this because this kind of pencil is a little bit waxier and it's waterproof in a different way than the liquid pencil, so that you don't have like a gap in your lash line as the day goes on. So next I'm using the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Pencil Eyeliner, or Pen Eyeliner. They don't even call it, it's just liquid. Anyway, it's really nice. It has this like very sharp little felt tip. And I just stretch out my eye a little bit and trace it very close to the lash line. Ooh, this is a brand new pencil, so it's like super sharp, fresh. And then I'm going to draw a little wing. I honestly feel like I'm not ready to face the world if I don't have eyeliner on, and if it's not winged. It's just not good. Now that I've basically drawn out the shape of the eyeliner, you can see there are some gaps here. So I'm going to go back and flicking backwards in this direction, fill in those gaps. I find that this is the best way to do this because it kind of gets your eyelashes out of the way. I also use like a squiggly motion. I don't have very thick or long eyelashes, but they still kind of impede my progress sometimes. Just going over that line, filling everything in. You can see that it's like not perfectly round here. So I'm just gonna stretch it out again and like make it a little smoother. You gotta be careful when you do that though, because when you go back and forth, that's how I end up with such a thick eyeline sometimes. It is really hard to talk also while concentrating on this. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the other side. When I'm tired, my eye folds kind of look different on each eye. So you can see this one, the line is like a little bit more open, it looks bigger. This one, the line is the fold is a little bit lower, so the line looks smaller. So I'm just gonna thicken this one just a tiny bit to compensate for that, just ever so slightly if I can. Oh God. Can you tell the difference? I may have added too much actually. No, it's okay? It's okay. Okay, to finish up the eyes, I'm going to use this Innisfree Skinny Waterproof Mascara, the Micro Cara. I really love this product, especially for people like me whose eyelashes are both sparse, short, and sort of like droopy. This formula is very lightweight, and the brush is so small. It's microscopic. And I really like that because it prevents your lashes from clumping up. Sometimes when I wear a volumizing mascara, it looks like I just smeared a bunch of like wax on my eyelashes. It's partly my fault, but partly the formulas. This one is very lengthening and light. I did not bring my eyelash curler. I mean, my eyelashes are very short. And anyway, when you draw like a thick eyeline like this, once you curl your lashes, if they're short, it doesn't really show up. It kind of just looks like little notch marks in pictures, so this looks weird. Okay, those are the eyes. And okay, when I was packing, I told myself I would be like an elegant minimalist and only bring one lipstick. I ended up bringing 4 lipsticks. They're mini. 1 lip stain, and then I ended up finding a bunch of like little sample products that I had in my bag anyway, so I probably have like 7 lip products with me. Okay, so the choices are, well, this MAC Russian Red in like a tiny little bullet is super red and like matte and beautiful, but not for daytime, I don't think. I brought this Fenty Mademoiselle in Candy Venom, which looks kind of scary in the tube, but I use it as like a stain and just like kind of blot it on, and it's just very brightening, which is nice. This Makeup Forever was like a Sephora Reward one, and it's like a very nice sort of pinky mauve. You see that? I think my eyeshadow is a little bit warm for this. So by process of elimination, we end up with one of my other favorites, this mini lipstick from Stila, this 3CE line. They have a really great, what's it called, Mood Recipe or something? It's like a line of matte lipsticks. I bought a little set, which you may have seen on my Instagram, which is a range of like MLBV shades. This one is on the darker end of that spectrum. It's number 909 Smoked Rose. And this matte formula is very lightweight and not drying. I'm going to wipe off a little bit of the excess. Bomb.com is what it's called. And just apply this. I almost feel like when you're traveling in France, it's kind of wrong to do like a full-on American style, like contour, bake, lip, like matte liquid lip that's like super, you know, straight of a line. I don't know. It feels kind of better to like try to do things the way that like Violette on YouTube would do it. So I'm just gonna leave this as is for now and figure out what I should do with my hair. I might put it up because this blouse has like this neck. I feel like earrings are the way to go. When you're traveling, you can take a bunch of statement earrings. They don't take up a lot of space. They don't get tangled like a necklace. I got these in New York while visiting my sister. Actually, the true last step will be to apply a little bit of perfume. I also collect these miniature perfumes that I get from like Sephora orders. This one is Jo Malone London, English Pear and Freesia. I tried to pick one that was kind of light, so. The best way I find is to spray it on your hair directly. I think this little pump won't be able to survive that, so I'm gonna lightly spray my fingertips, rub them, and then just comb it through. That way when you move, there's like a subtle scent, but it's not overpowering. Okay, we're ready for our adventure in the French Riviera. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.